Hello and welcome back to my channel, and I'm glad to have you back. As I had stated in my last video, I am going to actually start breaking down my characters, and I will be breaking them down in bits and pieces to try and make smaller videos. I know my last video was again a little bit on the longer side, but that is because I did do a reading out of the book. So with that out of the way, the video should definitely be getting a lot shorter. So as you can see from the title of the video, what is in a name? Well, for me, in my world, a whole heck of a lot. For me, naming a character is very important because a character's name has meaning behind it. I don't just, pick a name and just go with it. I will sometimes pick one name and change it several times. I have done that. I've had characters go through several different names. Lilly Rose actually did go through a couple of name changes. Her name actually was at one point Annabelle, and I did change that way back when, and it was actually way before I had actually fleshed out the 4 characters whom got out of the agency with her. So for me, coming up with a name takes time. At some points, I've started off with a name, and as I'm writing, it's still not feeling right, and then all of a sudden, bam, wham, there's a new name, and my character's been renamed. Well, for Deadly Conflicts, I did have quite a few name changes, and there are a lot of character names that I will not be going through because they fall under those plot twists, and I'm keeping those underneath my proverbial hat. But the characters that I'm very careful and very, very, very hard about getting a good name for are, of course, my main characters, because these are the characters that are telling the story. They're the ones that are moving the story along. And if it's not a name that's going to fit in with the story in some way, well, then it's just not going to work. That's why the name Annabelle got changed. So there you go. When I did start thinking of floral names for Lilly Rose, I knew she had to have a first and a middle name. Now, not a lot of people use her middle name. There are very few people within the book who use it. Armand does not use it. I think Ben only uses it a few times. And it's just a very small handful of people use her middle name. Her middle name does have a special meaning behind it. If I do get enough Patreons who have read the book, I may do a Patreon only video about the middle name, as there is a hidden meaning behind her middle name. But that will be something to be talked about at a later time. So, Lilly Rose. Why Lilly Rose? Well, let's break it down. We have two things here. We have two flowers. And flowers are very much symbolic. And there are symbols spread throughout this book. And I will go into that in another video. But within here, there is symbolism with just her name being Lilly Rose. As Lily symbolizes devotion, but it also symbolizes, is a very big symbol with funerals, and it goes with the start of the book where she fakes her death. But you also have lilies as a sign of rebirth. And what do we get after she fakes her death? She receives a new life. And with this, she gains it with innocence, which is another symbol that is with the lily. The lily is a very, very highly symbolic flower. It symbolizes death, rebirth, innocence, and all of that is encompassed within just the first chapter. But she is that throughout her entire life. Even at the very beginning, she is a very innocent child that innocence has to die in order for her to be rebirthed into a new life. Now, for also that child part comes in her middle name, Rose, which symbolizes promise, hope, new beginnings. But then you also have the thorns that mean defense. Again, this shows at the beginning of the book where her and the three agents, she is leading them into new lives with this plan she's come up with. The defense is her defending herself against a grown man whom wants to attack her, who never gets his chance to. And then later on in life, she defends an innocent person that she does not even know after she gets out. So that is within her her whole name just encompasses what she is. She defends people. She loves people. She's had death. She's had new beginnings. She is that woman that you do not want to meet walking down the street, because if you are a person who does bad things, she will kick your butt 15 ways from Sunday. And as I stated, she is 5'4", and she is quite small within the agency. And that just made her be that much more aggressive, because to her, her stature just meant she had to learn to defend herself much more. So another thing that comes along with roses is color. A lily, that is white, that is purity, that is innocence. But when you get into roses, the colors will bring about different aspects. You have red roses, which are love and romance. You have orange roses, which are for passion. White roses, which again brings about that innocence and purity. Things that are touched upon throughout different aspects of this book. If you look, you will notice that there are 3 characters on my cover, and we do have Armand, whom we've already spoken about. Actually, sorry, I've got my notes up here, so let me make sure I'm okay. Good. You have Armand, who is very possessively holding on to Lilly Rose, and that was a decision because he's known her longer. But we also have another young man who has her hand and is kind of leading her. Within the book, she does have 2 love interests. Not just 1, 2. Yes, it is a love triangle. And the funniest thing is, I gave this book to a friend of mine who is a devout Catholic, and I figured she would throw the book at me and drag me to church once she read about the fact that she has 2 love interests and several other things. She absolutely loves it and has given it to other friends of hers whom also love it, and I have a fan base in the over 80 market. Yeah. At least I know I can go to the senior citizens' homes. Take this book there and I will be great there. But again, with her life, she can't just have one love interest, because for her, death struggle. So for her to say, I only have one love, she can't do that, because that's just something she cannot do. So as I said, I'm going to try to make these a little bit shorter. So I'm going to try and break down these characters a little bit easier by doing name first, and then getting more into the characters in a separate video. So next video I may do another what's in a name, or I may actually continue on with Lilly Rose and give more information about her that you may have seen it and just not realized it. So until next time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, hit the like button if you like this, and check out all my social medias down at the bottom. And until my next video, keep on reading. Bye-bye.